This is going to be a follow-up video concerning the 2021 Select Football product and the XRCs found within them. You ready? Then let's do it. Hello and welcome, rookie card collectors. Victor, the rookie card specialist here. And on this channel, it's all about the rookie cards. We look at the past and present day status of the rookie card, all in an effort to better understand this hobby icon. Well, friends, we did it. I am so happy and proud to announce that we have finally crossed the 1,000 subscriber mark as of this past week. And I have nothing but thanks to all of you for your continued support, for you continuously watching my videos, and just the overall support that I have within the community is overwhelming. And I am just so grateful for each and every one of you. Hopefully, there's much more to come. I have a lot of plans and a lot of aspirations anyways for the future. It's a channel that I started in March of 2020. And here we are, 2.5 years later, and passing 1,000 subscribers to me is quite the accomplishment. Some might think that that's small potatoes, but when you're in the grind, it's only those that are in the grind can really appreciate that as a milestone that I set out from the very beginning, and we have finally made it. My channel really, it only has about 110 videos in my library, and that is only because I have deleted many of my earlier episodes because I wanted to rid my channel of all the fluff. I wanted to present to you a rich library, an evergreen library that can be viewed for years to come on specific topics concerning the rookie card. So here we go. Thank you very much again for all your subscriptions, and I'm looking forward to the future. I had, in my last video, I had some really bad internet issues, and that kind of stuff really bothers me. And I ended up doing a speed test on my signal, and it failed in every category. In my uploads and my downloads, the speed test was horrendous. And so I've had to do some troubleshooting with the provider, and we had to do a couple of different things. They're going to be sending me a new modem, and I'm going to have a separate modem for the downstairs. I think it's only going to be an extra $6 a month. I think it's going to be totally worth it. That says, just send me the modem. Let's do it, because I need top-notch internet down here. And so they ended up doing like a system reboot on their end and moving some things around, and we were able to get me up to par on the speed. So hopefully there's no pixelation, there's no skipping of the video every 10 seconds like it was on the last video. Man, that was a doggone shame when I looked back and looked at that video. So thanks for bearing with me there. A couple of little extra tweaks that I'm making in the studio as well. I'm doing different things with lighting. I went ahead and accepted a free trial of StreamYard, the pro version. That way it allows me to do the 1080p recording, and I'm just testing it out. It is a little pricey, but I think if I like the quality and like how things turn out, I am willing to make that sacrifice and paying that. I think it's like $50 a month. So little tweaks, trying to make improvements, trying to keep things flowing and moving, and that really helps me with my creativity. A shout out, I want to give a big old shout out to Omar, my man Omar over at Retro Hoops Collectibles. I was able to be on his show last week. He posted it last Saturday. I will leave a link to it in the description. And I'm just so overwhelmed. And these are the types of things I think that really encourage you, give you the energy to really keep going. As I'm sneaking up to 1,000 subscribers, Omar invited me to come on his show. He found me by chance. He was doing some searching for Yordan Alvarez rookie cards, came across one of my videos. He dove into my library, and as he puts it, he ended up going down a a rat's nest, and he just started consuming a lot of my content, invited me on his show. And it's really humbling and really encouraging when you have bigger channels really appreciate and affirm a smaller channel. He has thousands of subscribers, and I'm small potatoes compared to him. But big time shout out to Omar. Love his personality. We just hit it off, and in my opinion, I made a new hobby friend, as me and him just really seem to hit it off. So shout out to Omar. Thanks for having me on, brother, and hopefully we'll talk soon. So let's get down now to the meat and potatoes, right? 2 weeks ago, I released a video about the 2021 Select Football product, and it really was the issue that was presented to me was cards that were identified with an XRC identifier on them. And in that video, I gave a brief description or a history lesson, I guess you can say, on how the XRC has evolved. And I had some questions, and things seemed a little out of focus with what I know about XRCs. The conclusion of my video was that I couldn't come to any kind of determination because a checklist had not been released yet, and I had more questions than I had answers. So I really couldn't give much insight. What I was able to do was give kind of the history. The issue that I had was a 2021 product that featured all the 2021 rookies, but then they included 2022 rookies as well. And I was like, wait a minute here, time out. That doesn't seem right to me. And of course, I gave some commentary on that aspect, but the checklist has now been released. And so I want to go ahead and share that with you because I want to talk about this a little bit further with you. And that's how come I want to call this, a follow-up to that other video, because I couldn't give much answers because there was nothing to really go off of. But now there is, because the checklist was released. So allow me just 1 second here to share this screen. Okay, so here we go. We have the official checklist now from Cardboard Connection is my source. And when this product first came out, for like the first week or two, they did not have any of the names. So you could see what was in the product as far as parallels and inserts and all of that, but an actual checklist you didn't have, but now we do. So here we go. Now we get to answer some questions that were on the table, and we can make a better conclusion on what's up with these cards. So looking at this now, I noticed that, remember the definition now, an XRC is an extension of the base set. And back in the 80s, when this concept first came out, if you recall, they were released in a 132 count factory sets, little box sets, and they were literally an extension of the base set. And here we have this exact concept duplicated here. As we look up here, this is the checklist for card numbers 1 through 400. That's the base set for the 2021 cards. And card number 401 to 420 features the 2022 XRC Prisms. Now, this officially now, because it is an extension now of the base set, it does qualify as a true XRC defined set almost. But it really, to me, it really comes off more as a subset perhaps. And so it can be viewed that way in one aspect, but let's just keep it simple. One thing that I do like is that it is an extension of the base set. That's the first thing I wanted us to notice. The next thing I wanted us to notice was that these guys are in fact in a pro uniform. So I found that quite interesting. As you can see here, every single one of these guys, card number 401 to 420, is featured in their pro uniform. Now, at first, I had a lot of hang up with this. And in my opinion, at first was, if you're going to have players from the 22 draft inside of a 2021 product, to me, technically, they should have been in their college uniforms. However, looking at this further, we did notice that, number one, they are a true extension. But then I started thinking the date that these were released. So one of the guidelines states that in order for a rookie player to be introduced into a set, they have to be on a pro roster. Technically, the day that these gentlemen got drafted, they immediately went into the roster, the pro roster. So Kenny Pickett here on draft day immediately was placed on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster. So therefore, it kind of flirts with crossing the line, but it really doesn't. Again, we find that gray area where we come close to the line, but we don't actually cross over. So in this aspect, I'm okay with the pro uniforms because the day of release of this product, these gentlemen were already on pro rosters. Also, what needs to be taken into consideration, and I mentioned this in my previous video a couple of weeks ago, is that we have to give these guys, we have to make possible concessions for the issues that they're having. A lot of this falling behind is carried over from last year, whether you want to believe it or not, or give them the benefit of the doubt or not, whatever view you take on that. I feel, in my opinion, I have to give them some concessions and really cut them some slack in this area because there are challenges. And so they're still trying to dig themselves out of that hole that they were in from a year ago. And so with the issue of 2021 select football product and the issue of the XRCs, number one, I like that that it is indeed an extension of the base set. I don't like that they're in pro uniforms, but when I consider the date that this product was released, these gentlemen were indeed on pro rosters. I have to conclude in good faith that these are indeed XRCs. I do like also that they have correctly, in my opinion, correctly placed this identifier. I would have really flipped my lid if they would have put a rookie card identifier on there. But since they did put an XRC identifier, and knowing the history of the XRC identifier, I give this product a thumbs up when it comes to this situation. So I'm going to conclude that these are legit XRC cards and that they have not violated any of the rookie card guidelines per se. However, I do have concern about future use of this concept because, as we know, once they develop an idea or a concept, they seem to go maybe overboard, or they twist things, or they kind of throw another curveball in there and make things a little bit more muddier. So although I do approve of this product and this situation, I will be paying close attention to the use of this XRC identifier for future episodes. Not that I can do anything about it anyways, but just knowing what's going on and keeping up with the changes, which I think is a big part of what the hobby should have been doing. But we kind of fell asleep at the wheel for about a decade or so, a decade and a half. And nobody was really creating these, documenting these changes on the rookie card. So now it's muddier than ever, but we're working on it and we're making things better and right so that hopefully down the road, right, we can have a better understanding of this hobby icon, because the rookie card is indeed an icon. Well, listen, other than that, I wanted to keep this video short. Don't forget to check us out on Hobby Hotline Saturday mornings at 10 a.m., and Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Check me out on the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network. I'm going to leave links to all of that down below. Don't worry about that. Check out the description. I have a ton of resources in my description. I put a lot of extra effort in that part of the videos, so you can check that out at your convenience and at your leisure. Other than that, guys, again, thank you for the reaching 1,000 subscribers. I thank all of you for that accomplishment. And to me, it's nothing that I have done. I give all the credit to you folks. So thank you for your views. Thank you for your subscriptions. And I will catch you on the next one.